You're listening to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, episode 46. On today's episode, Zondy and Nina return to the show to discuss April in SojuTalk music. So sit back and chill with friends. You're listening to the after show with the SojuTalk Nation. Welcome to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, a chill discussion on this month in the SojuTalk Nation. We're recording on Sunday, May 1st, 2022. Happy May, everyone. I'm your host, Crispy, and joining me this month, the pro gamer with a tournament coming up this week. So everyone send him your good vibes because he needs to annihilate the competition in the Super of the Smash of the Brothers. A one and only Zondy. Welcome to the show, sir.
Yo.
Yes, stunned. I know. As we are all in your presence, and the stunning person herself. A jet setter. Kind of hampered recently, but that's not going to stop her. She's explored the world. She's been to Korea. She's gone to music shows. She's the culture. She is the culture, everyone. The one and only Nina. Welcome to the show.
Every month. You always got something new.
You guys just bring out the creativity for me. I don't write any of this down. It all just comes to me in the moment.
Off the cuff.
I
like it.
You are the muses of all muses. So I appreciate it. Hi, welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
So the show, for all the new listeners, is a monthly recap of April releases. So, things that have generally come out and been promoted within the month of April 2022, covered on the main show. We're a little bit ahead of schedule, so by the time you're listening to this, it'll be in the future. So we've got some songs that we're covering that just came out. But we're going to have fun. It's a very loose conversation. We pick our top 3 favorite songs. We have some alternates in case there's some overlap. And we kind of just go with how we feel, how these songs have affected us throughout the course of the month or the past few days of listening to it. So, or in some cases, the past few minutes from listening to it. Hi, wink, wink.
It's never happened before.
We're going to start with, the jet setter herself this month. Nina, hello. What is your number 3 song for the month of April?
Yeah, so we had a bit of a chat pre-show here about how April was a bit of a weird month for all of us and music-wise. So we'll see how chaotic our lists are. But my number 3 is one that I know Zondy has listened to several times and not for the first time 5 minutes ago. And it's "Love" by Monsta X.
Oh, I've listened to that song so much.
Yeah. Zondy really likes this one. Well, I was, in general, I know that Zondy in particular isn't the biggest fan of Monsta X's musical styling. Sometimes, maybe. But this one is it caught me off guard because it is different from their usual style. They definitely have their own style that you hear it and you're like, that's Monsta X. And I think this one still has that, but it's a bit of a different genre. It's kind of I'd say 90s inspired boy band joint. And that's what as soon as that beat came in at the beginning, I was like, oh, I think I'm going to like this one. There's a little piano riff that's kind of reminiscent of No Diggity. Yeah. I love that. This is my favorite Monsta X title song in a long time. I really enjoyed it.
God, we are old. You and I have the same brain. I put 90s vibe, R&B. You chose No Diggity, Backstreet. I chose Boys to Men. So I think we are still in the same R&B synth.
I definitely heard No Diggity myself.
You guys are definitely
which was definitely when it came out.
Yeah, not right now today.
Yeah.
It's definitely. I'm not listening to it right now for the second time ever.
Totally. Yeah. But actually, let's focus on No Diggity because I do love that song. It's very iconic as far as like, 90s R&B song that was played for like 2 decades essentially. I think even up until the late 2000s, that song was very much played at school dances. Yep. I don't know how old I actually am, but I think I went to dances in 2000. And I think it also just played in just like commercials, a very well-known popular song. If you were to ask someone, what does the 90s sound like, right? How do you feel like kind of the rap emulates a lot of that? Because I think it's Juhani and who's
I am.
Yes.
Rapper.
So they have a really I would say like powerful rap section as far as like that mid after the first verse. How do you feel like they kind of incorporated that rap style within the smooth R&B nature of the song?
Yeah, it's I was trying to sell my roommate on this song actually. Because I said Monsta X, the new song's pretty good, and I said it's different from the usual stuff, but Juhani in particular is still doing his Juhani thing. Like,
he's going so hard.
Yeah, he's going hard in this. I feel like they've always had like kind of contrasting rap styles. IM's kind of like more vibey, more groovy, and I thought that fit really well. I like IM's verse especially. Giving me all the vibes. But yeah, there's something about Juhani in particular. When you hear him, you're like, this is a Monsta X song. He's kind of the voice of Monsta X, I would say.
Yeah, the very recognizable, distinguishing vocal presence, right? Zondy. So this song doesn't sound too much of a Monsta X song, right? It's very different, I would say. What are some characteristics about this song that kind of separate it from what you know about Monster X? Monster X? Did I just say that? Monster X.
Monster X.
This is what happens when you take a sip of coffee before you speak. This is just brain does not know what's happening. Monsta X. What do you feel? How do you feel about this song differentiating itself from their previous songs?
For me, the main thing that distinguishes a Monsta X song, aside from I think Juhani's voice, is and like purely on the audio, right? The visual aspect is an entirely different thing. Of course, Monsta X have a very specific choreo style that they like to go for. The main thing here is that it's really not that drop focused. It's quite melodic in the way that it's written and the way it's the way it's written and what the focus of the song is. It's definitely on the chorus and not the little post-chorus bit where they kind of go into beast mode and take off their shirts and whatever, right? You can be into that. It's just that I'm not really. So this is a pleasant surprise. Definitely still a Monsta X song. Part where Juhani fucking yells in the bridge.
I wasn't gonna say it when I was talking about him earlier, but he do be yelling. Yeah.
Sit back and enjoy the show. And it's like, yes, we're still Monsta X. But I mean, it didn't hold me back from liking it. I feel like it's been painted as though I despise everything Monsta X puts out. It's just that it's not my style. But this one is a pleasant surprise to be sure. It's definitely not my very raw, reaction listening to it for the second time ever. I would never do such a thing. I always keep up with everything.
No, well, to be honest, like that description is fairly thoughtful for someone who's listened to it 30 times. So I think you actually kind of nailed it with the melodic nature of the song. And it plays kind of well with the different instruments they use, right? Because it does pull in a lot of 90s inspiration. That saxophone is just like, yes, what decade are we in? And then it kind of breaks down into like this b-boy 90s section near the last third of the song. But then it kind of picks back up, right? With a lot of energy and a lot of like hype to it, right? So I think all of that stuff like works kind of really well. But let's talk about the kind of the visual component, right, of the music video. So
the sequin suits.
The sequin suits. Okay, can we start with the glitter? There is so much gold and glitter. What is happening? Nina, can you help me decode what is happening with the glitter and the spotlights? And I don't. What are they? I think they're being presented to us at a certain point.
I think it's kind of adding on to the retro vibes of the song a little bit. I was thinking about there's a scene at the end. I think they're in the sequin suits and they have the mic stands, and they're just like that is so. I don't even know if that's 90s or even older. Like, I love it. I like the aesthetics a lot in this. They're more clothed than usual, as Zondy said, but they still, I don't know. I really liked the visuals the first time I watched it, which is not usually something that I say about a Monsta X video. And I feel like I sound like I'm just dragging Monsta X. I do like Monsta X. What were you
I
saying?
like the chandelier in the car park. I thought that was cool. I was like, what's it hanging on? Where's the ceiling?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, there's probably like a crane or something. Ruin the immersion. But I was like, wow, that's cool.
No,
I hate it when
floats.
I'm not immersed in my K-pop videos. I hate it when that happens. I've also IM has like a cane throughout the choreography. Like what's the what's the vibe here? Okay.
I don't think it's appropriate anymore, or it's PC anymore. But I think in the 90s or even the 2000s, the phrase "pimp cane" is a thing.
Yeah,
I'm not using it. I'm just describing it. Okay, folks on the internet.
That was a thing. That was a thing that we said in the early 2000s.
Yes, I know, Zondy, you were 4 years old.
I'd said it a lot when I was 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 2 years old. You are very advanced. Totally understand. Yes, I mean,
Zondy came out the womb looking for his pimp cane. Okay, I'll stop. But yeah, that was really it's just I love 90s inspired things, you know, as a 90s baby myself. And I just think they really nailed it.
Can I say the first 5 seconds where the beat kicks in and they're all doing a little chant? It reminded me a bit of like Brockhampton, the saturation era Brockhampton.
Oh,
the beat is something that could definitely have been on like saturation too.
That I'm not sure what the instrument is that comes in. It's like a synth noise comes in over the bass. Yeah, that's definitely it.
It definitely could have, like, the first 5 seconds and then it completely changes, but it could have definitely been in a Brockhampton song.
Yeah. God, that we went much deeper into Monsta X than I anticipated, but in a good way, because I think I do really like this song. I've surprised myself with how much I like this song, and I think it's because it touches on the 90s inspiration that I think we're shifting into now. What's next? 2000s retro? What does that sound like? Someone help me.
We're gonna go further into the past and go into big band jazz.
That would be great.
Oh, can you guys produce something? I feel like you guys have a grasp on it. I would listen to it. So who's debuting here? I think it's Zondy, because he's.
Let me get the ensemble out.
Yeah. Got it. No, but also like you said, it does retain a lot of Monsta X character. And kind of just the way that they present themselves, the aggression of Ju Honey. Thank you very much. In some ways, a little out of place, but then the song itself pulls back into what it's going for musically, right? Which is like how the song is composed. I think that's actually a pretty cool balance, all things considered. And then the clothedness, I think, was a little bit more accessible for me than in past releases. So thank you for that.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with having your shirt off, but it's, they just do it a lot.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's also a point of excess, where it's just like the maybe a little too much, but
like you feel like you're not the target audience.
Yeah, well, it's like then I can't enjoy the song. Not that enjoy is not the right word, but I can't focus on the song. Where it's like I'm too distracted. It's like there's some things that are happening. There's some muscles. There's some shirtlessnesses.
It's like I'm not looking at the song, you know. Yeah. It's just a lot there.
Yeah, a lot of stimulation.
Stimulus. I would say, not stimulation.
Stimulation.
I would definitely go with stimulus there.
You are the child genius after all. You can help me here. I am a grandpa. I think we're done with this song, right?
Yeah. That's
great. Zondy, I'm throwing it to you. What's your number 3 song for April?
So for my number 3 song for April, I'm cheating. And I'm going to use this as a thinly veiled excuse to talk about Luna. The number 3 song, which is probably the song I've listened to third most this month, that's come out this month, is Shake It. by Sistar by Luna. And the little remix joint they did on Queendom. And I think the remix itself was, I wouldn't say it was secondary to the performance, but it definitely complemented it in a really nice way. The kind of show tune Broadway vibe they were going for translated itself pretty well into the song, despite like, I don't know, they don't have the voices for a show tune song, right? They're definitely going for a different thing, and they still managed to take the instrumental. They take the original song, which is definitely one would categorize as a summer pop, and take it and show tunify it in a way, adding jazzy elements, adding super, kind of somewhat dancey elements. Mostly in the instrumentation. There's also slight rewrites in the melody that I think pull it all together really, really well. And we can talk about the performance too, maybe.
I want to echo everything you said about just the way that the song was reinterpreted. So again, Sistar, Summer Queens, we know them as, the pop, K-pop summer sound, right? This song, if you didn't know it was a Sistar song, you're thinking show tunes, you're thinking the visual themes of the 1950s, a lot of the locking and the choreography. It all works so seamlessly well to recharacterize this as a Luna song. And I freaking love light colored Luna. Please, why have we gotten 3 years of Girl Crush to get this and be like, oh yeah, they're really good at this. They're like so good at this. So musically, kind of some pinpoints. Kim Lip, great, great singing. So good at singing. Good job. Heejin, kind of carried in a lot of ways. I think she does have some singing parts, but also just like, wow, you are a great organizer. The center point. Yeah. Great organizer. And then I will say, if you do watch the Sage, watch out, don't get too close to it because you might get cut by Jinsol's chin because she's so sharp. Nina, how'd you feel about this? What emotions did this evoke from you?
Well, as a 17 fan, this was targeted at me specifically. 17 being the theater kids of K-pop. When I first watched this episode, I was watching it with two of my friends, and we were losing our minds. Like, I have never been so excited watching a performance. Everything about it, I think, was just perfect. We were just talking about bringing back big bands. They've got a little bit of swing in the instrumental there. It was so much fun. Everything about it. Luna can really do any concept, I think, but this is definitely my favorite from them, and I feel like they had a lot of fun doing it, and they just all crushed it. Heejin, in particular, that girl has it.
Yeah, she's a genius.
Yeah,
I'm just convinced.
Stage genius Heejin, for sure. Yeah, it was so cute. It was so much fun, and it was by far my favorite performance from Queendom so far. Definitely.
Same. This is my number one so far.
This is my number one Luna performance.
Oh.
Period.
Ever.
I mean, honestly, just the way that they kind of recontextualize like our thoughts of what our direction of where Luna was going. Just really hopes that Blockberry will see this and be like, yes, we are done with Girl Crush for the time being. Please. With 3 years of this, I just, guys, 3 years of the same song 3 times. Man, one other thing about the group itself, actually, more of a question. I am not the biggest Orbit. Well, I'm a decent Orbit. I just don't know details sometimes, and I forget these things. Who is the leader of this group? I think I know, but I just want to confirm.
Hassel? It's Hassel, but...
Right?
That's right, yeah. I mean, it's technically no one.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking, too. I was like, I don't think there's an actual leader.
It's probably Hassel, or like... Yeah, it's Hustle or
Officially
Kenlip or Eve.
on the profile,
Eve
it's
and
Hustle, but we were
Yeah.
joking in the scene in Queendom when they're deciding, I think it was when they were deciding the performance order, and they were sending out the leaders from each group, but it was Heejin.
It was he.
From Luna.
Yes.
Who was
Okay.
not even one of the looters of the subunits.
Okay, good. I thought I was losing my mind too. I was like,
Yeah.
did I miss something in like their infinite number of lore videos that were released ever?
I think after Hassel had an extended hiatus, since she's come back, she's really stepped back a bit. I find, she's kind of
Mhm.
been pretty low key. If you vibe wise, there's not really a leader.
Yeah.
And if you were gonna pick one watching, you would probably say Heejin or Eve.
Yeah.
I would say.
I agree. Shout out to Eve and her tearaway clothes.
Yeah, Eve was great in this performance.
Shout out to Chweri. At the end when she does her little thing, it was so cute. It was really cute.
Man.
And Chu looked like she had more fun on stage than she has in a very long time.
Yeah, that's just really nice to see.
Yeah.
Chu feels like everything we know about her show and her personality is actually being presented to us in music again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like, oh yeah, this is what you're like with being yourself and awesome. For some reason I cannot think of her song. What is her song?
Heart Attack.
Heart Attack.
Yes, Heart Attack.
Yeah.
I'm so stupid. Just like
One of the greatest songs of all time. Yep.
I can hear it. I just forgot the title. Okay. Yeah, amazing. Chu getting pulled across the bar with the
Yeah, that was sick.
with the sheet was great. Tablecloth.
They definitely did a lot of magic in the performance.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of
I
great
was sitting there and I was like, wow, that
crafting.
was magic. It was just like the chandelier, but I was never taken away from it.
You're never questioning if there was a rig.
I was just like, she was just sliding. And she can do it.
This is real.
Go on, really good at changing clothes. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's got like a magic wand. She's like the Sims character creator.
Oh man, yeah, we're just gushing over this performance. Yeah, I think this is definitely is part of K-pop consciousness for the month of April. Like all jokes aside, I think it's very important that this is kind of a touch point for a lot of people because Queendom represents girl groups, right? And I think that's probably why the girl groups have been a little bit slower this month because I think a lot of focus, and rightfully so, companies have seen is on this show. And Luna doing a stage like this, really grabbing the attention of everyone, either internationally or locally, is I think it's overall good for K-pop. So if something like this does get traction, if we talk about it glowingly, I think, and I hope that other people will explore it as well. There are many stages. The song is on Spotify. Listen to it. It's great. I have not stopped listening to it.
The girls sound amazing. The choreo is amazing. It's so fun.
10 out of 10.
I just haven't had that much fun watching a K-pop performance in a long, long time.
Yeah, that's how
And
I felt too.
I'm upset and salty that it didn't win.
Yeah, we'll save. We have a spot for that. We got this. They'll tease for the audience, but yeah, we got some Queendom discussion later. All right, I guess it's my turn. So I do have Monsta X on my list. I actually had it at 2. That's how much I like it. That's crazy. What is happening to me? I like girl groups. My number 3 is a recent song, came out this past week. It is Moonbill with Cheese in the Trap. This song is super fun. I feel like Moonbill right now is transitioning into just being more of a character of kind of the Mamamoo cheese that I think we're all accustomed to. I think initially when she did a lot of her solo stuff, she was doing the rap, dark concept, which works in the sense that she is kind of the rapper of the group. It fits like visually what she is and what she's all about, but her having fun makes a lot more sense to me. So the music video takes place in high school. She's not a high school person. She's doing a high teen concept. Fine. I'm over it. I'm good because it's done playfully, right? The song itself kind of evokes like Taylor Swift-y vibes. So there is a little bit of pop rock, a little bit of pop punk into it. And the story goes, it's a very familiar story that everyone has seen over the course of the hundreds of decades that you and I have been around, Nina. The nerd girl lacks confidence, is shy, looks through her locker and just doesn't really know what she's all about. She pulls out cassette tapes because, this is the era that we're in. And she transforms into this confident rocker girl, which, again, a lot of very familiar tropes, but because it's Moonbyul doing it and we kind of know the cheese element of Mamamoo, to me, it works really well as far as like showing a different color to her. Zondy, did you watch this? Did you listen to this
Yes.
song? Oh, yes.
I did. Before today.
We did
which
it.
is insane.
Thoughts, feelings?
Yeah, this is it. It pulls on the Mamamoo cheese, and I'm not too big on the Mamamoo cheese myself, so it's not for me, right? I'm not the target audience for this. I kind of watched through it, and I was like, this song is fine. It's pop punk, cool. And I was just looking at the music video, like, she's 29. Why is she doing high teen concepts?
She's 29?
Yeah. She's a 92
So
later.
Solar is almost like mid 30s, is what you're telling me, because she's older.
Something like that. Yeah, she's older.
I think Solar's 91. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that changes my brain, but it's fine. Go
So
on.
I was kind of watching, just the entire time, thinking about the age appropriateness or lack thereof of everything. But I was like, it's fun. If you like Mamamoo, you like their little fun cheesiness, you'll be a fan. But yeah, it wasn't for me. I wasn't too big of a fan myself.
So that's
I
fine.
tried to give it more chances, but it just didn't hit me.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the perspective because that like changes some things in my head. I still enjoy the song, but man, she's 29. Okay, cool. Nina, also being a fellow old person, how do you feel about a 29-year-old doing a high teen concept?
I mean, I think you were right that she's being kind of tongue-in-cheek about it. She's not seriously expecting us to think that she's a high school student. The whole thing's kind of playful and fun. But yeah, it is always a little weird to see older idols in school uniforms, Like, it's like, okay, guys, let's move on. This song, though, this is probably, like, when Moonbyul her first solo song, I think it was called Eclipse. And it was like a full boy group song. Like, it felt like a dark EXO song. I didn't like that at all. I was not a fan of that on her. This is probably my favorite solo outing from Moonbyul, I would say. I love anything that's like pop punk, in the early 2000s. I was Avril Lavigne, Simple Plan, Good Charlotte, That was my elementary school life.
Quick question, quick interruption. Did you listen to Something Corporate?
Yes!
Okay.
Oh my god, I was just talking about Andrew McMahon to Zondi yesterday, and Zondi was like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like,
yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
I love them.
They are like the sleeper of like, people forget to talk about them, because I also think that the name of their group is just like so hard to talk to people who don't know who they are.
Yeah. They have a song called Constantine. It's like 9 minutes long. I used to just play it on piano everywhere I went. Like, that was my when my first boyfriend dumped me when I was 14, I just laid on the floor and listened to that on repeat.
First of all, we have to unpack the 14-year-old heartbreak of Nina, and second of all, you play piano?
Yes, I do. I played for many, many years. Yeah.
Oh, we're just digging into some really deep stuff right now today, guys. Before the show, we talked about we had therapy. Oh my god!
But that's funny that you brought up Something Corporate, because I was just talking about the lead singer to Zondi the other day, and he had no clue. So I love that. I love that Something Corporate.
Yeah. So how does this song evoke kind of that pop punk vibe of the 2000s? Because I think if we're talking about retro 2000s, this can capture it, but this captures it in a totally different way, right? Where I think it's just changing the genre of pop music into like pop punk. How do you feel like Moonbyul captures that within her character of what you know of her?
Yeah, she's always she's sort of been the tomboy member, I guess, of Mamamoo. Kind of silly, and I just random offside. I love her look in this music video. The hair and makeup, I think she looks stunning. It's a really good look for her. But yeah, I just think it's fun and goofy, and I think it suits her a lot better than the serious boy group. She looks like she's having fun. I'm having fun. It's great. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree. Not to say that her previous looks and styling choices don't suit her, because they did, right? Because she's a tomboy, kind of going into that gray area of androgynous, but in some ways not. But I don't know. She still has a very like feminine quality to herself, even if she's doing like full on like pantsuits and stuff. I mean, Queendom, she killed it, and she was just in the whole like pantsuit and did all the like hard choreography that you wouldn't typically see out of like a girl group. But she has like this element where she can kind of go back and forth, where it's like this, she's in a freaking like high teen like skirt like outfit at the start, and it's like, wow, that suits you very well. I like this. I feel like you are a very attractive person. Great hair as well. And then she flips into like the rocker look, where it's like, oh, it's kind of edgy, but still like has a lot of feminine qualities. But still, it's like this also works. It also fits. So I think she's just a very unique. I don't want to like objectify her as like a piece of like fashion iconography to like mold, but she's fitting into a lot of different fashion concepts that I feel like have not been explored in the past with her, and I'm curious as to why, but I'm happy that they're doing it now, because she can do a lot of things, like just like visually as just I don't know, like a fashion icon in a way. Yeah, no, a lot of I am very surprised that we're talking so lovingly about the past with this episode today. Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. God, got some 90s, got some 2000s.
Yeah.
All right.
Poor Zondy has no idea what we're talking about.
Zondy wasn't even born yet. He was just ready to come out the womb and say, "Give me my pimp cane."
I listened to Good Charlotte and Avril Lavigne in my time.
Okay,
Simple
okay.
Plan.
Good Charlotte.
Yeah. Simple Plan, Canadian. Quebecois.
Good Canadian boys.
Yeah.
Very nice. All right. I think we're back to Nina. Hello.
Yes.
Number 2 song of the month.
Yeah. My number 2 actually surprised me. When I was going through my list, I didn't even know if this one was going to make it, but then when I really thought about April, it ended up number 2, and it's Love Dive by IVE.
Yo, that's my number 2 as well.
Dude!
Whoa.
So for both 11 and Love Dive, actually, the first time I listened to them, I was kind of meh. Like, I was like, okay, that was nice, I guess. But for both of them, they just got stuck in my head, and I just kept coming back. And the chorus in particular of Love Dive, I think is really, really nice.
Oh my god, narcissistic, but god.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I feel like I like it more every time, and every time I listen to it, it gets stuck in my head for a full day. The pre-choruses with the ooh and the aesthetics and the music video. I just think IVE or Starship has really just carved out a perfect concept for IVE. It's presented really well, and you know exactly what they're going for. They're, rich high school students that will probably bully you, and they're serving. This music video, it looks rich. They look rich in this music video. And they love themselves, and they're not going to talk to you.
I have so much, but I'm going to throw to Zondy first, because I want to hear Zondy. Zondy, how do you feel about IVE being characterized this way, and the fact that it does feel like Starship has a very clear idea of how they want to portray IVE and the members, specifically Yujin and Wonyoung kind of being front and center, but also kind of giving a lot of love to the other members. So I feel like there's a lot of good balance, but then also that Yujin is good at K-pop.
Yeah, I think Starship they've set the bar high in the past with Gravity, but they're just raising it further here with how they're handling post-produced groups, right? I feel like they're definitely the most successful by far in terms of translating them to a group environment. We'll see how things goes like this coming week or whatever, less Seraphim is happening. But I think characterizing it this way, the concept that they're very clearly pushing here is, I mean it's working, right? Above all, it's working. I obviously I'm gonna have my worries about there's like fucking 15-year-old kids, and these are pretty mature concepts and moments.
Yeah.
But the music is well, Love Dive at least. I'm still not too huge on 11. I think it's good, but I think Love Dive is crazy. I think it's really really good.
Yeah.
On my first listen, I was like, I already liked it more than 11. Like Nina said, I've only liked it more and more each time. It's kind of got the same similar energy in the ooh part as Real Love last month, where we talked about how it was kind of like felt almost celebratory while being very clearly melancholy. Like it's like I don't know, just like the place they put it in the chord progression is really really, I don't know, it's almost triumphant, and they've got confetti everywhere, and they're belting, and it's great. I think it's really good. And again, narcissistic, but God, I love it. It's so good. It's so good. It's just one. It's one of the most like earwormy single lines in K-pop in recent memory.
You guys said a lot of great things. I surprisingly love this song as well. Surprising in the sense that I am just not a big fan of. Well, I didn't connect with 11, put it that way. I couldn't get over the fact that yes, they are teenagers and they are talking about you make me feel like 11, and however you want to interpret that. The writer of the song is a Western lady, an English speaker, and she did a TikTok where she sang the original lyrics that she had composed for the song. That is not for children.
Oh yeah, the original demo versions of songs, the lyrics in them can be real bad. Have you heard the demo? Sorry to sidetrack.
No.
Have you heard the demo version of Four Walls?
No.
Yes.
Specifically targeted at Nina. Oh
Yeah.
my god! If you haven't, please listen to it. It's fucking awful. The lyrics in that. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they go, now these four walls got me in a friend zone or something like that.
That sounds rough. God, oh, that's some PTSD.
Yeah, shout out to Adrian McKinnon, who's written many beautiful, wonderful K-pop songs. Also wrote that.
Oh man, well, with IVE, it's always been a barrier for me to kind of get over the fact that they are children and they're being portrayed a certain way. But I feel like this song and this music video kind of flips that, where it's age appropriate, and I do get the same sense that you got, Nina, where we're rich, where the cool kids don't talk to us. They mentioned on the show Y2K Gen Z. I will pull this back even further. This is a 2000s episode today, guys. Gossip Girl is all the vibes. This is Blair Waldorf at her peak. All these members are just like, yeah, you know, we own this mansion. Someone in our family is rich enough to have a lawn this big, and we're going to have a party, and none of you are invited. And then we're going to post about it on social media, so then you are jealous, and we all are. I think with the music itself, there is an element of it that I think it just, so in addition to like the chorus and the head tilt, so much head tilting, it's very subtle, but there is a vocal fry that a lot of the members kind of end their lines with, specifically Wonyoung at the end of the first chorus. So she comes at the end of the first chorus, it's her section. She has a vocal fry to her voice. I'm just like, where am I? I'm getting bullied. This is so scary. And then I look up, it's this child's face. It's just like looking at me. My question for you, Nina, is this a song that you would hear in 2000s in Forever 21?
Yeah, they probably would have played this one on the playlist. We were talking about how Heejin from Luna is a genius. He's a stage genius. I think Wonyoung.
He's a genius in everything.
Yeah, just overall genius. Wonyoung, I think, is a stage genius, and she's still developing. She hasn't reached her final form. When she reaches her final form, it's going to be terrifying. Like, she's a child right now, and it's already kind of scary. Wonyoung scares me. Yeah. Same.
Yeah,
scary kid. Yeah.
Although I do like the song. Just overall, I like this kind of vibe where it's EDM-ish, kind of dark, mischievous, but it's very up to date. I'd say it's still pretty modern. It doesn't make me feel like I'm listening to like Alice DJ. That's another 90s reference.
It doesn't sound dated at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you talked about Forever 21. I feel like almost it could it almost in moments sounds like the climactic parts of Melodrama, the album by Lorde. At least in terms of the vibe, maybe not quite entirely, but the atmosphere is really similar to that. It feels like at the end of a super druggy high teen like movie, coming of age movie, where everyone's like super high or something. I don't know. And they're at this
Euphoria.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, sure, Euphoria. Let's go with I've not watched Euphoria, but sure, let's go with Euphoria.
Yeah, maybe not
It
quite
feels
as
like it
far
could
as
be in Euphoria.
You gotta watch Euphoria. I love
the
that
first
show.
season is art. The second season.
So I will admit I didn't watch the second season because
You don't need to.
I was told
Yeah.
to wait.
Yeah.
And now I'm waiting. Still.
Let the first season exist on its own. Would be my advice.
Well, my question for you now, Nina, is who in this group is Rue, and who in this group is what's her name?
I don't think any of them are Ruse. I think they're all Maddies.
Got it. Okay. For those who don't know the show, check out the show and let us know what you think. Which characters are which members of IVE?
Only watch it if you're above the age of 18.
Yeah, even though it's about teenagers, it's not for teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good way to put it. My final note on the song is Wonyoung has a whisper part near the end. Again, she will destroy us when her final form arrives, even though it feels like she's doing that now. I am just so conflicted. It's like I have to like remember. It's like separate. Just let it be.
It's gonna be the third impact from Evangelion.
It's just a 90s episode today, guys. We're just every 90s reference possible.
Such a weeb.
Anyway.
If I could have a final word as well.
Please.
I love the way they use silence in the song. Like just the little pauses before it really helps to accentuate the big explosion of sound that happens in your ear in the chorus. It's really, really well done, I think. And when going for this kind of really impactful post-chorus or chorus, I think it's really important that to have that kind of dynamic change, like dynamic range. In this case, I mean dynamic in terms of volume, like taking everything out and then chucking it all at you makes it hit a lot harder for me.
Yeah, no, that really well said. I agree with the way that they, like you said, like use silence, and it really plays with the tempo of the song, right? Because I think it does trend in that very mysterious, really. I hesitate, but it does make you feel like desire, right? Like you're like desiring to be part of their social group, part of their circle. It really tries to pull you in, and then those pauses are like, no, stop. You're not allowed because we are too cool. And it's just like, oh, yes, I feel that as well in the music. So, man, yeah, this song is good, man. It's just like in a lot of ways. Surprised me a lot. Speaking of dynamic, impactful people, Zondy, what is your number 2 song of April?
Oh, God, I got him. Oh, no, it's Love Dive. Yeah. We talked about Love Dive. Let me get out one of my alternates. Jeez. Oh God. You know what? I'm gonna throw it to Crispy. Crispy, what's your number 2 song of April?
Thanks, host Zondi. All right, no problem. I got you. All right, my number 2 song was Monsta X, and I did just go through Moonbill, so I'll go through an alternate. Oh man, okay. We're gonna do this because I think we just need to bring in old folks. So, right, Onu with Dice.
Oh my God, I skipped over that one.
Yeah, it feels like it was a lifetime ago that song came out. So I went back and revisited it this weekend. Man, it holds up in an interesting way. Okay, so I say that very vaguely. So in the sense that it doesn't have like the punch that they mentioned on the main show, right? It doesn't really capture you, but what it's supposed to be doing as far as being a very quirky, weird, like visual concept paired with a very mellow musical direction, and also specifically with his tone and the way that he sings, really pulls in all like the retro feel of what SHINee is known for. So it's like, oh, this is all kind of works for me. The song itself, I think it's a very nice, I wouldn't want to say to the extent of background music, but it really just like, it's very easy listening if you like that type of genre, right? Easy listening within that retro genre, right? But the music video is what kind of really made it memorable for me, because I really like weird, quirky things as far as like being in a hotel and some Squid Game vibes, but also multiple realities. And then this girl that you think you're saving is actually the one saving you. And then there's a dice that is symbolic of something, taking chances, rolling the dice. You see different forms of dice. You see the regular 6-sided one. And then at the end, there's a D8. It's like, well, what are we playing here? I want to play this Dungeons and Dragons campaign. Please let me in. Overall, just a really fun experience. I think that is kind of where I land with it. Maybe not a song that is super memorable, but I think for K-pop purposes, it's important to have these songs to kind of shake things up, considering sometimes it's very, everyone does the same concept too often, right? So I think for me, really fun, catchy, bright, it's lively. And then we have some weird experimentation with some lemons and chainsaw people. I talked about the music video a lot. Nina, help me out. How did you like the song?
Yeah, I agree. The music video is great. I love the color grading, or I don't know, the colors really pop. And that makes it really memorable, I find. Talking about old people, after this recording, I'm going to my parents for my brother's birthday, and my brother was born in 1989, and Onyu was born in 1989. And when I look at this guy, I can't believe he's as old as my brother. That's so crazy young to me. Yeah. He looks very youthful, especially in this music video with his freckles. And yeah, the song itself, it's it's nothing new. There's nothing outstanding about it. It's very summery, definitely summer vibes. It's nice to start to hear those summery vibes songs roll in, And Oni's voice, obviously, is what makes it stand out, because he's a very good singer. I had something else I was going to say. Oh, I was just talking about the SHINee have always had a theme in their solo naming, and they all end with Isu in Korean. So we had like Ace, we had Bass from Jonghyun, we had Choice from, and I love the fact that Onu's continuing that with Dice. Yeah, it's very cute. Just a nice little homage to each other. Yeah, no, it's a fun song. It's like I don't know if I'm going to come back to it that much in the future, but if it comes on, I'm not going to skip it. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those fun songs that it gives you a timestamp of 2022. It's like, this is where we're at in April. It's like, kind of fun, light. And if it's on a 2022 playlist at the end of the year, I am just pleasantly surprised when it comes on, for sure. Zondy, how do you feel being surrounded by 35, 40, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds all the time today?
I tend to spend the most of my time around people my age, but when I look at my screen and I see Unyu, he looks like he could totally be attending my university. I can't believe that guy is 33 years old. Again, I've just listened to the song, and which is shameful for me because SHINee is my favorite boy group. I mean, I can do nothing but agree with everything you guys have said. Onyu's voice is good. Music video is really cool. I like the choreo. I think it's fun. Yeah.
No, you totally.
SHINee good.
SHINee very good. Kind of a high end question. God, high concept question. A big picture question. That's where I was going. SHINee had their comeback last year as a group, and then our lovely Taemin, is doing his duties.
Crazy to me.
I miss him.
Insane.
Isn't Taemin 15? Like what?
Actually,
what happened
right?
there?
I think there's some child labor laws being broken here with him going to the military so soon. I'll throw this Zondy since SHINee is your favorite group. How do you feel like their what do you feel like their direction is right now as far as slowly introducing us to solos? Kind of in preparation, kind of in waiting for Taemin to return.
I think they're just kind of biding their time, right? They're waiting. They've got Onyu. Onyu's going to be releasing stuff. Key's definitely going to be releasing stuff. The other two guys are probably just going to be, they're doing their thing, right? Maybe you might see a Minho solo. Who knows? I think that'll be funny. But yeah, they are definitely, they've given themselves a concept that all of them seem to be working. They're all kind of branching out from the SHINee sound. Bad Love in particular is a slight departure. It's slightly more retro, but you could release that under the SHINee name, and I believe it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They definitely are still, all of them, even Taemin, when he's doing his solo stuff, all of them are kind of still working off of the SHINee branding in some way. And it's not necessarily a bad thing because, it's SHINee, they're great. So to answer your question, I would say, yeah, they're just probably going to be releasing stuff. He's popular now, so that's great. So.
He's so popular. It is amazing.
Yeah.
Bad Love was definitely a slept on song last year.
I don't think anyone slept on it. I think it was really well received.
It's deserved on Key's part for sure. He's a star.
Yeah. God, that's one of the songs where I feel like I should have listened to that song more when it came out.
Yeah.
I listen to it now, I'm just like, holy crap, what the fuck? This is good.
That was high art by Key.
Right? The music video.
The performances are so good for that. If you've not watched them, they're so good.
Yeah.
I love the way Key owns the stage. He's so good.
Yeah, he definitely has a presence that you forget existed in K-pop, and you're like, oh, that's right, you're so good. Shout out to you, Key. This turned into a SHINee episode, which I love because Onu, Dice, gotta shout him out because I think that was just a really memorable experience for me in general. Even if the song may not be like a top tier amazing song, I think it works as far as if you just throw it onto a retro playlist. All right, we're returning to you, Zondy. What is your number 2 song of the month? Oh no, I threw it to you. Are we going back to me?
Passing.
You need a number 2. You need a something.
My number 2 is Love Dive by IVE.
All right. We can flip back to the top. Then.
We can.
Let's start to Nina.
Yeah. If you need me to throw, I have about 4 songs that I've written notes on that I've listened to about once.
It's all right. Well, we'll call an audible. We'll flip it to Nina. And you'll give us your number 1 song of the month, and then we'll go from there. It's just one of those days. May 1st. Welcome. Hi. New month. Welcome.
Well, as you guys know, I would never be biased in my choices, and I'm always 100% impartial, which is why my number 1 song is, of course, Darling by 17. I know, it's a pre-release. It's not a title track, and heard a lot of people say it didn't have much of an impact on them. Truth is, I just really like 17 a lot. And it's at the point where if they do something, I like it more because it's them. So I I can't speak rationally on this song.
Speak with your heart. Let it all out.
Yeah,
Nina.
As usual, it's very difficult for me to talk about 17 because I'm delusional. It's a very nice spring song. We've got the anti-drop again, which at this point is like a signature from Woozy. My dude loves an anti-drop, but the build-up leading into the chorus before that anti-drop, I think, is so beautiful. It just makes you feel like you're soaring, and everything about this song is just so cute and lovely, and it puts a smile on my face every time I listen to it. I don't think, even the people who think that maybe it's just it's a bit boring or something, I don't think you can say it's a bad song, you know? It's a nice listen. Maybe a little bit weird that it's all in English. We were talking a little bit before the show. This was written by Bumzu and Woozi, of course, who work on every 17 song ever. And Hyun of Monotree, who is one of my favorite K-pop production teams of all time. And Shannon, or Sungyeon of Pristine. Which is kind of funny to me because, and I've said this about Shannon songs in the past, she's from California. She's an English speaker, but oftentimes her English lyrics, there's just something a little bit awkward about them. Sometimes the flow is a little bit, like, nothing's incorrect, I would say. But maybe
it's a bit awkward.
Yeah. Sometimes, like, the way that the phrases flow or something, it's just a little bit. There was a few, you know, I don't think 17's English is fine. It's not the worst. But I definitely had to look up the lyrics to be like, what did they just say? A couple times. But, you know, I love to turn my brain off when I'm listening to music, so it doesn't bother me that much. Yeah, I just think it's nice. The music video, some people are looking for a deeper meaning. All I can say is, with 17, there's almost never a deeper meaning. They're just giving you visuals. So don't think too much about it.
I might stand 17 just for that reason. Thank you, Nina, for clarifying. Yeah, because again, like music videos like this, where it's like, oh, so much symbolism. Is there a lore? Is there something connected to it?
No, 17 does not have lore. Pledis knows they're good looking, and they're like, here's your good looking guys. They're doing some stuff, and yeah. They're currently releasing teasers for the album, and people are trying really hard to find patterns, symbolisms. I'm like, guys, I got to tell you, don't waste your time. It's Pledis.
That is perfect for me. I freaking love it. My question for you, Zondy, is: would you drink tequila with 17?
Oh, for sure. They seem like the super fun dudes from the 3 variety shows that I watched that Nina made me watch.
How do you feel like with the anime vibes in this music video and song?
Well, you know, I've first of all, the first 2 times I watched this music video, which was definitely on the 15th of April when it was released, I was very surprised, first of all, that it was in English, because I didn't hear it. The anime vibes, bad question for me. I don't watch anime, but I like the styling. I really like their outfits in this. I think, like, especially when they're in the field, just like the light colors, the pastel colors, and they're wearing super cozy. They just look like they're always having fun. Just really nice about 17. One thing is this song. I mean, you can call it boring. There's this moment at the end where they got like some crazy synth chords.
I know exactly what you're talking about,
and I really want that to be a whole song.
It's almost like yeah, it's like they're teasing you because there's that chorus where like it kind of drops out and it's empty, and then they hit you with that guitar and synth.
And then you're like, oh, whoa, where's the big chorus? And that's an anti-drop, and that time I'm actually disappointed.
Woozi.
Yeah,
a little guy Woozi. Woozi has been front and center a lot. His song, please remind me, Ruby. Nailed it. I know 17. Surprisingly memorable song for me. Music video. Just the way there's some rock incorporated to it, but I think you'll also get a lot of the character of Woozi if you don't know who he is, because that definitely has stuck in my brain as far as 2022 music, right? He has a centerpiece point in the music video where it's like, yes, I know him. He's good at stuff. And I think everything you said about kind of the dreamlike airiness of the song and music video. Again, this to me is anime. It's a Makoto Shinkai movie. It is a Weathering with You. It is I'm doing great. It is Your Name. Red Wimps, I think, is the guy that they have doing group. I forget if they're just a musical project that does the OSTs for his movies, but yeah, I get a lot of that. And now that you mentioned that it's a pre-release, I think is very important to remind a lot of people, because songs like this should be a pre-release, 100%. Like if you're pre-release is this super crazy banger of a song, then the expectation for the actual song is either inflated, or you then have to question, like, what is the company doing putting out two songs that are like jockeying for your attention, right? And I think you have a song like this that is a pretty good balance of what I hope to be a more impactful title track. And I think this is a really nice appetizer, right? It's a nice little palate cleanser that gets you ready for some new 17. Also just big budget for something that's a pre-release. So there's a lot
They got that Hybe money. They got that Hybe money now.
Right? Because I'm like thinking about the music video. It's like the production budget is like an actual movie. It's like, what? This is not even their song they're promoting. So shout out to them for having all that.
Yeah, I guess that was 2 years ago now. Before Left and Right, they released My as a pre-release, which is also just a similar, like, just kind of light and fluffy. Hey, look, 17 are back.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, question for you as a 17 fan, has that been their strategy? And do you feel like it's worked over the course of the time that they've been doing it?
Yeah, I mean, 17 has always done, they've given us a lot of different concepts. You know, people tend to know them for their more bright concepts, but they've done a lot of different things. And I think just dropping like a little pre-release with this fresh style, because I'm getting a strong vibe that the comeback is going to be quite a bit darker, the actual title track. So I just think it's nice to remind everyone that they can do it all, you know?
Yeah, it's a good reminder, because I did appreciate the song actually. When I went into it, I was like, oh, they're doing some pretty cool stuff. I think also because I knew it was a pre-release, my expectations for it were just like not to the degree of, I think, people who would have been caught by surprise with a song like this, right? So
also, Uji looks so cute doing that choreography. It's insane.
For real.
You know, they angle the shot in a way where they're trying to put them all on the same
It's so
plane.
good. It's so funny every time to watch a 17 music video and look out for the camera tricks they do to make Uzi not look so goddamn short.
Right? But then it's like, oh, but you are just like 5'0". Like,
And the thing is, 17 overall are actually a fairly tall group. So it's it's tough out there to be 164 centimeters.
This little guy just keeps chugging along. Good for him. But in a weird way, I think that helps like center and like catch your eye for.
Oh yeah, a lot of people have, you know, they catch interest in 17 because they're like, who's this cute little guy? So he's a stand attractor for sure.
Yeah, so definitely kind of working to their advantage in a lot of ways. So shouts to Uji. I can't speak today.
Well, Uji in Korean, but you know, Woozy.
Yes, I am fluent, so all of my languages are mixing together. Yes.
Yeah, as we know.
As we know. All right. Nina, I'll give you the last thought. Close this out. How do you feel about 17, and what are your hopes for the title track?
Oh gosh, how do I feel about 17? How long do you have?
We're doing a 10-hour podcast today, so
okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. They're giving us a full length album this month, their fourth full length. So, you know, this just it got me hyped up. I'm hyped. I'm very excited. It just, you know, they're 7 years into their career now. Their 7th anniversary will be this month, and they still feel, you know, the same as always. They've just re-signed their contracts for an additional 3 years, and it just, you know, feels better than ever to be a carrot.
All right, like the cake. Yep. For those who need clarification. Zondy, speaking of sweet cakes, what is your number one song? I can't even keep a straight face. What is your number one song of April?
That's a very clean transition, Crispy.
Thank you. I'm a professional.
Seamless as it gets. My number one song, I actually think, thinking about it now, I probably would have put Left Eye for number one if I were to remake my list now. But I have Dreamcatcher Maison. That's my number one song.
I'm so happy you brought it up. Thank you.
Yeah, I like the song a lot. I like Dreamcatcher. I like what they bring to K-pop. I think the song itself was good. I thought it was really good. I thought the music video was a bit weird. I thought the lyrics were a bit kind of cringe. But I thought the song itself was good. I listened
Does it
to
like
and I was
save my home
wow.
in the jungle or?
Yeah, I mean, they're just the whole thing about it. The reason why I wouldn't put it number one if I were to redo my list is just because when I think about the song itself, most of my thoughts just go into this song is just so on the nose, and everything about it
Mm.
just it needs like one hint of subtlety, and I would like it a lot more. But yeah, no, I think it's a good song. It's a Dreamcatcher song, so obviously it's gonna be a lot of J rock elements. It's gonna be, it's gonna be fun. I don't know. I like Dreamcatcher, so
That's perfect. So the reason why I said I am so happy that you brought it up is because I wanted to talk about this song, even though I didn't connect with it. I think that's a very important thing to do in K-pop. When you can disagree with something without being disagreeable. So for me, I think Dreamcatcher does Dreamcatcher stuff really well. This song in particular is that kind of evolution into a more pop friendly, more accessible sound. Because I think, and I mentioned this on the show previously, it's very anime, J-rock. This one kind of trends a little bit more towards K-pop accessible. So I think that's a cool evolution of their sound, right? I think the Dami's rap is very memorable. When she comes in, I understand now why she is so popular. Shouts to her. And then the vocal quality, I think, is just really, I wouldn't say so. I guess surprising, right? Surprising in the sense that vocals can get easily lost when it's just like a rock song, right? Where it's like, for me, I think Jiu stands out for a song like this in a lot of ways, where it's like, oh wow, it's like they're really incorporating the rock elements of a song and then still letting them sing and be vocalists. So shout out to them for kind of doing that. Nina, you and I talked about this song before the recording. We don't connect with Dreamcatcher, and that's totally fine. Again, not being disagreeable, internet. But what are some of the elements as to why this kind of didn't work for you? And what are the redeeming qualities as to why you think it's very popular or works for a lot of people?
Yeah, I don't think it's like you said. Dreamcatcher do Dreamcatcher really well, and they're super talented. Amazing vocalists, amazing dancers, amazing rap, and everything. I've liked a couple Dreamcatcher songs, but and I like rock music. I used to be a big J-rock fan back in the day, but for some reason, Dreamcatcher has never quite clicked with me. I will say this is toward one of my more liked Dreamcatcher songs. I just looked up the lyrics while Zondy was talking there, and it's I like the idea of a song about climate change.
Yeah, no, I like the idea.
But yeah,
it's in the right place.
Their hearts are in the right place. That's it. Because it's quite.
It's so on the nose.
It's very on the nose.
It's a letter to the UN saying we need to.
Yeah, they're literally writing a letter to the UN. I hope they play this music video for them. Is it like this, like the post-apocalyptic city? Like, this is what's going to happen if you don't stop.
Right, like the doomsday
producing greenhouse gases.
The doomsday situation. It's like this is the world that we're going to live in 2 years from now.
Yeah, no, and the music video as well. I get what they're going for, but there's a couple of scenes where the green screen is kind of like, I don't know, maybe that was what they were.
The music video, I like the idea again.
Yeah, and the aesthetics are not bad, the color's good and everything, but yeah, there's a couple things where it's like, oh, the budget wasn't quite there for the full vision that they wanted to go for. But it's really, there's like a bridge near the end with like some piano and like some chanting in the background. It's pretty epic. It's epic.
Epic. Yeah, great way to put it. Yeah.
When I listen to a Dreamcatcher song, I appreciate it. I get what they're doing, but I don't go to my way to listen to them. That's all it really is. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
if you're a Dreamcatcher fan, you'll like.
Yeah. And I think they're all
a little cringy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they've always had like a hint of cringe to them, which is I like a little cringe in my K-pop sometimes. We can't all be we can't all be cool all the time.
And we can't all be Nina all the time, right?
So true.
So true.
And I'm very glad that they did finally win on a music show.
Yes.
Twice.
So congrats.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it right here. So they won on Show Champion, and they won on The Show this past week on April 26th, I believe is the date.
Feels good to see someone's hustle getting recognized, you know?
Right?
For sure.
They kept doing their thing, you know, they didn't switch up the concept, and they persevered.
Yeah, they've never tried to mainstreamify, which I really appreciate. I mean, I don't want to say they've stayed in their little corner, but they've stayed in their little corner of, I mean, you know, they appeal to a niche, and I'd say they do it really well. If you're into it, then you're into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're not into it, then you kind of won't be.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest Dreamcatcher fan, but I think this song is good.
It is always fun to hear guitars in K-pop as well.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
And I think they do pull it off really well. I like in general, they're the kind of J-rock that they do, K-pop flavored J-rock is really good. In my opinion. I mean, it's hard to argue with, right?
No,
'Cause I'm always right.
You're always right. Always right. No, I think Dreamcatcher is definitely needed in K-pop because you do need something to interrupt the trend, what's popular, what everyone is doing, right? Kind of a shock to the system because it does, for me, brings my attention to something else, and I'm at least trying something to try to expand like what I understand and know about music, K-pop specifically. With this song, I think I will probably try to go back to it because there are elements of the song where I could just put this on and then while I'm playing video games or while I'm like at an anime convention, or I can even probably hear this at an anime convention. Yeah, Zondy, you should come with us next time. Be a weeb.
I mean, this is anime opening music. He says he's not a weeb, but that's Dreamcatcher, you know.
I mean, the first time, what did it debut with? Chase Me in 2017. I was like, that song is so good. Like it's straight out of an anime.
Is Chase Me the one that opens with the music box, like, or is that?
No, I don't think so.
I really like the one that has the music box at the beginning. That was one of the early ones. Can't remember which one.
Yeah, it just opens with like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really liked Chase Me when it came out. I haven't quite been in the Dreamcatcher hole as others have, but I do really enjoy what they bring. I think it almost feels like counterculture, right, Crispy? It almost does. It's so against everything else that we listen to in K-pop. It's always great.
I think that's an excellent way to put it, to frame it, right? I mean, yeah, we'll just lean into it. It's counterculture in a lot of ways. And I think it's very needed counterculture. Words are so hard today. Because we need to kind of freshen and liven things up, right? And I think it's one of those where I think if other groups tried to do it to this degree, it'd be a little weird. But I do think we are starting to hear hints of a lot of these types of sounds incorporated in a number of different groups, whether it's boy groups, girl groups. I think even TXT is a little different, but I definitely can see that like without Dreamcatcher, the road to get to TXT, where they're at today, probably looks a lot different. In my opinion, right? Because I think because Dreamcatcher has just said we're doubling and tripling and quadrupling down into this for how many years have they been out? 5 years now? 4 years now?
Yeah, 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, so it allows other experimentation. So whatever you think about TXT, it's like you see this concept of their new release. It's like they're just like going all in with edgy emo angst kids. And I think a lot of that has to do with the road paved by Dreamcatcher. So shouts to them because they are great. And I like orange hair. Hi, Suwa.
Me too. Yeah.
All right. Is it me now? Oh, man. My number one track. All right. So I mentioned this pre-recording. We talked a lot pre-recording today, guys. So I chose this song, one, because I am a prisoner of the moment. Yes, I will admit that. You know, once you have that self-awareness, the rest of the world kind of just opens up to you, right? And two, recency bias, because I literally heard this 2 days ago. I'm going to put it here. It's here, guys. On Friday, we got Psy, produced and featuring Suga, that. And I put that as my number one song for April. It's the return of Psy, everyone. You know, for all those who, you know, may not be introduced to Psy, don't worry. He is just doing the same music he's been doing for over a decade.
He's not fucking changed.
Which to me, I'm fine with because it's a meme. He's out of control. He's absurd. He's so ridiculous. I mean, what was the last release in 2017, 5 years ago? Good Lord. I love it. It's so absurd, like actually stupid. And then I think the one that 2015 was Daddy. Those two songs are essentially the same. They're like very like EDM, party rock, LMFAO sounding, but it's just like Psy, you're just out of control. Like you're just insane, which is great. I love it. So with this song, it's an update. It does feel like it's, you know, produced by Suga. It has a little bit of a different unique quality to it. But the way the song opens, where he talks about 2022, Psy coming back, and then he talks about the pandemic being over. It's like, if this was anyone else, I would have an issue because this song is outdated in 6 months. Or perhaps we're still in a pandemic in 6 months. I don't know. The world's crazy right now. But it's Psy, and it's like, okay, yes, it's so stupid that it works. It's so stupid that it works. Definitely a kimchi western. To me, this is the caricature of other people making for what Americans look like in the Wild West. And I love it. I love that they're just saying, you guys are ridiculous. You guys dance in the OK Corral and, you know, slap each other across the face. I've set it up enough. I'll go to Zondy. Zondy, how do you feel about the return of Psy and you know, our reintroduction as it is to his music and who he is as a person?
It's Psy, you know. He does his thing. He comes in, he sings the same song, and then he like shakes up all of K-pop, and then he leaves for like 4 years and goes dormant. And he's like, you know, I need my bag again. And then he comes back. And this time he's come back and he's back with Suga, which is really funny. I think that's so funny.
It's so good.
I'm not too much of a Psy fan. I mean, I think he's important. I mean, obviously he's important. Like, you know, we can't look at 2012 and not think about how important Gangnam Style was. But I think his music is kind of whatever, right? It's just memes. I thought the music video was funny. I thought the little cowboy stuff. I think making fun of America is funny. I like the part where Suga jumps in.
That cracked me up.
Like the superhero landing.
Right?
I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really funny. But I mean, I'm not one to listen to that and go, you know what? I fucking love this shit. But I can totally see why you would.
It's so stupid that I love it.
And he leans into the ridiculousness, but I don't think he has like the music for me to back it up. Really, I don't like listening to the Psy songs. But I think it's funny. I think Suga's verse is good.
Speaking of, Nina, do you have something? I feel like you connected with Suga here.
Yeah, okay, first of all, I love the memes about Suga being the latest Psy girl. Because, you know, he always has, like, we've had, like, Suzy, we've had Hyuna, we've had Guy, and now, like, Suga's the Psy girl. That's funny. I actually used to be a decent BTS fan, like, back in their early, like, I Need You era.
That's the best era.
Yeah. Not to bring it up again, but that's when I was in Korea, so I got to see them do it a couple times. But, you know, recently, in the last couple of years, for whatever reason, I've sort of lost my connection with them and maybe didn't love some of their recent releases. But when I heard Suga's verse in this, I was like, oh, yeah, Suga's good. Like, that's good. I thought he would, like, first of all, Psy and Suga, what a collaboration for his comeback. You know, you get a BTS member on the track and you just know it's going to blow up, of course. Yeah, I just thought Suga's rap was really fun in this, and the music video, first of all, I love a yeehaw moment. I love cowboy aesthetics. I don't know what it is. You guys know my favorite video game series is Red Dead Redemption. You show me a cowboy, I'm like, all right, let's go, yeehaw. But yeah, the music video is so fun. The play fighting that they're not even trying to make it look real, and then it cuts to like Suga cradling Psy, like some kind of Renaissance painting. Yeah, it's I was just thinking while you were talking earlier, it's been 10 years since Gangnam Style, which is wild. But like you watch this and it's like, yeah, that's we're saying Dreamcatcher's good at doing Dreamcatcher things. Here's Psy doing his Psy thing, you know, and it's exactly what you anticipated when you heard Psy was coming back with Suga. And yeah, I mean, you put this on at a party where I was drunk, I would probably be jamming. It's a good time. It's fun. I think Suga crushed it. Yeah, I like felt the remnants of my time as a Suga stan coming back, looking at this.
You had a lot of angst in your life.
Oh well, yeah. I mean,
well, I just am so confused because you just seem so you glow with so much radiant energy. So
I was an emo kid, full middle school emo kid.
Fair enough.
So that's that, and then the pipeline from emo kid to Suga fan, I guess.
Yeah, very clear pipeline, very clear trajectory. To be honest, if you think about it.
Yeah. It's silly and it's fun and it's Psy. What else can you say?
Fun Psy. Yeah, I mainly selected this song as my number one because I feel like the cultural impact, not just in Korea but around the world, is going to be tremendous this year. Because I think everyone immediately is going to relate back to Gangnam Style for sure with Psy. People who aren't even like music fans, right? Who don't listen to music regularly will be like, oh, that's Gangnam Style guy. Oh, he's with the BTS group person?
Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe I should pay attention. So in like the big scope of everything, I think that is incredibly important, right? Because I think, South Korea has been popping off with just like allowing other cultures to experience like Asian culture over the past 3 years. Parasite, and then we had some Squid Game this year. BTS and Blackpink, whatever you think about their music, but grandparents in the Midwest are talking about them. Amazing. And I think ultimately that is a net positive in the sense that we are now allowing the world to be a little bit more globalized, to be exposed to different kinds of people that look like me, even though I'm not Korean. Like, that's cool. Like, an Asian person is in your house. Ha, take that. And I'm here for it, right?
In my house? Right now?
2 p.m., 2 a.m. Which group is that? My House? The song that Youngin did on Girls Planet 999. I still cannot get over that. It's ridiculous. She is
very unage appropriate.
15, guys.
Yeah. No.
But yes, in your house, Nina, you have some Asian people I will be visiting. But again, like, it really just goes to allowing like people of diverse cultures and then a cultural exchange, right? I think we do need that in a world that is slowly trying to acclimate back into in-person reality. Because again, like, we've all been in our homes, we've all been in our bubble. Even though the transition is happening, there are going to be a lot of speed bumps along the way. And I think a lot of that can be alleviated with just having popular figures in entertainment not be just one palette. Right. And I think Psy is a great representation of that. I think BTS, with their added popularity already, will just make it much easier for Psy to enter the homes of a number of people, like people around the world. So that's where I'm coming at it. Right. Again, like, I think I'm more close to what Zondy is saying, how this song is kind of just a ridiculous hot mess. Executed well, but just a hot mess. So I don't actually like love the song, but I love what the song represents, right? So that's where I'm at with the song. Nina, can close this out. Anything else you want to say about Psy and your former love, Suga?
God, I always end up revealing too much on these shows. There's been a story that Psy asked Suga to produce the song, and he's like, okay, I'll produce the song, and then he shows up, and Psy was like, well, can you do a verse on the song? And Suga's like, okay. And then he's like, okay, here's the choreography. He kind of got scammed into the full featuring. But yeah, no, it's fun, and it's like, what are you saying? It's great to see more. A couple years back, you couldn't name an East Asian in popular music. Like, they're just, it's been difficult for Asians to break through in the West in music for whatever reason. And yeah, it's just great to see more representation as always. Yeah, I whatever you think of BTS and their recent music on that front, it's always amazing to see.
Right, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, net positive. That's what we're all about here. Net positive. Zondy, any final thoughts? Well, actually, like more of a specific question to the music video. Do you feel like Suga's dancing is surprising to you? Because I was just like, what? He can do this?
He's a good dancer.
Suga's the 4th best dancer in BTS.
Yeah, he's one of the better ones.
He was actually a b-boy before he was in BTS.
Do you not know this, Chris?
Wait, hold on. Okay,
he's a good dancer.
Okay, I need to clarify why my brain was in this mode. So I was hanging out with my friend yesterday for National Boba Day. Yes, I got Boba, everyone. And she is a big ARMY. So this is her perspective. You know, she's seen them live a lot the past year. She went to both LA and Vegas. Multiple shows each day. Out of control. Crazy. But she admits that Suga himself during these live performances sometimes half-asses it. Or just like, you know, he's just like, whatever. Not in a bad way, but just like...
Yeah, he's had some injuries recently too, I think. He had a shoulder... Didn't he have a surgery or... Yeah.
Yes.
Which is...
Okay.
Yeah.
So
can't go full out, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. No, that clarifies a lot then. Because I think in my mind frame was like, oh yeah, maybe he hasn't been the best dancer. But no, he killed it in this music video. I was like, so good.
It was really good to see him commit. You know, like it would be easy for him to like, you know, try to act cool or like think about his image or whatever. But I'm glad that he went all in on the concept. You know, like if you're going to be in a side video, you gotta commit.
Yeah,
appreciated that.
My final question to Zondy is: would you find yourself in the kimchi western that is the Psy music video? And which outfit would you like? Would you like Psy's outfit where he's got the
lavender tassels?
Yes. Or would you like Suga's more clean, cream colored cowboy outfit that he superhero jumps in?
Suga kind of looks like a pimp. I can't lie.
We're just all about pimps today. Pimps and pimps.
With your cane. Yeah.
Yeah, with my pimp cane.
I'm just sad that neither of them put a cowboy hat on. Actually, I think Suga does at the end. But more cowboy hats.
I can't lie. I'm not quite as into the Western aesthetic as Nina is.
God, I think it started off as ironic, and now somehow I'm just.
Now you just want the John Marstussy so bad.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Amazing. Yes. That was our music recap for this month in SojuTalk Music. God, I love this.
To answer your question, Crispy, I would probably wear like a denim shirt and some white trousers and a cowboy hat.
Nice.
That is kind of fire. Holy crap. We need a photo of that in the fashion channel, by the way. You don't have to show your face. It's fine. But just give us the fit, please. I can't not think about it anymore. But that's wrapping it up. Great music discussion, everyone. Amazing. A lot of variety in music. I think there's just so much music this month that was not super impactful, but I think we did find elements of why K-pop is such a varied genre that, you know, we did cling on to certain things. Yeah, I think the reintroduction of Psy into the rest of the world is going to have an effect. Don't know what it is yet, but an effect on just how we listen and view K-pop moving forward. All right, a quick recap on the Soju chart for this month. I think the only standout bit of news is that Dreamcatcher, as of last week, has their second crown. They're in the running for Hall of Spice. This would be their second song in Hall of Spice, if I'm not mistaken.
To Warren's chagrin.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. Good for them. Anything stand out for you, Zondy, as far as the chart this month?
I wish Glitch won. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. They're right there. They're right there. Or she was right there.
So close.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why didn't they just let her have it?
Glitch would have deserved. I tried to, you know, I was surprised to see Very Very, and I gave them a listen, and I guess I don't hear it.
Yeah,
it
I
right.
had them as an alternate, and it's a boy group song.
This month in particular, or at the last couple months, actually have been great for upbeat boy group enthusiasts like myself.
Mhm.
Brand New Music's new group debuted with a very cutesy, almost a little too cutesy for me, Unite, and DKZ with Cupid. So there's been a lot of great times if you're a fresh, cute boy group lover, and then there's very, very if you're not.
Fresh, cute boy group lover for a fresh, cute person like yourself.
I walked into that one.
Moving on to our Queendom 2 overview this month. We got a couple episodes that came out. We have a challenge specifically that we're going to talk about. So, our favorite moments of the past 3 weeks. The cover song challenge. Zondy, in his glory, put the Luna song in his top 3 this month. Rightfully so. Well deserved. But Zondy, was there anything else that stood out to you as far as performances, interactions, or memorable moments from the past month of Queendom 2?
My favorite part of Queendom is anytime Eunso and Sinbi do anything. Literally anything.
You took my answer.
They're actually dating. They're actually dating.
They just remind me of what it's like for me to hang out with my friends.
I absolutely love the moment when Eunso was about to take Shinbi out to fight in the parking lot after Phoebe's put Cosmic Girls underneath them. That was so good. Yeah.
I can just...
Shinbi's been a star. Sorry.
Oh, for sure. She's stood out so much.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
She's leaning into the character. I can just feel the sarcasm oozing between the two of them every time they're in a shot together. It's just so like I love this. This is my life with people I know and love so much. I love the way that she's
very hashtag relatable.
Right? So much. I love how she calls her sweetie with so much like, disdain in her voice. It's just like, oh, this is good. I need more. Eunso has like really popped off too a lot of ways. Her facial expressions, her sarcasm, her just like loud energy is just like all up in this. Well, I'll touch on it a little bit, but in the most recent episode where they select the unit songs, Eunso comes to the middle of the scene and she is just loud and saying, "I will pick this group or this one," with like everyone like looking at her. It's like, what is she gonna do? I don't know. And she just has zero fucks given, and it's like, yep. Great. Nina, favorite moments, favorite song, favorite cover of the past 3 weeks.
Well, I mean, of course, we've all said that "Shake It" by Luna is our absolute favorite. I've been, I'm a Brave Girls fan, and show's been stressing me out a little bit on that part. I thought their mask performance was really good.
I thought it was good, yeah.
Yeah, I think they've been performing really well. My biggest complaint is that their stylists have no idea what's trendy. So they always, their outfits always look just out of fashion, like they're, which is tough when they're already, fighting the ageism. And when I saw them come out for Mask and one of them had anyway, their outfits are my biggest complaints. I think their performances have been great. The remix was great. The concept was great. And I don't know. I feel like this, I think I complained about this last time we talked about Queendom. There's just this prejudice against Brave Girls, and they do not deserve to be in last place at all. So that's stressing me out. But besides that, I've really been enjoying. I've been enjoying Eunha being the cutest person on earth.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. It's like she's playing it up, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Every time she does anything, I'm screaming. She's unreal.
Does she have the best posture on the show? Or is that just always uppity and just like what?
Yeah, she's a doll. She's an actual doll. I enjoyed Kepler's performance too. I know they had a few mistakes and stuff like that, but it was nice to see them have more of a concept and some props and things like that. Because their first round was I thought they really stepped it up, and I think their they're doing the best they can, being a rookie group and that sort of thing. I feel like we've already been seeing them improve. So I think that's the biggest thing that they'll be able to take away from Queendom is, just getting some performances under their belt and that sort of thing. So, also, I don't think Hyoden deserved full marks for her So What performance. I think she deserved it for her first term, her Touch My Body, but I don't know. I don't know why everyone liked So What so much.
Let's get into that a little bit. So my feeling about it is that I think people in the audience and then people who vote immediately, I think it's the global like virtual vote. It's quite frankly being a prisoner of the moment, right? And I think it's just the fact that she closed the show. She had a lot of energy. The legacy of what she represents. On a technical aspect, I mean, she does some really great things. Her vocals are always just very impactful for a stage performance. Whether or not, you need to belt out at that key all the time, that's subjective. But I think on a show, it captures you, right? It engages you. So I can understand why that's the case. It's just you need to zoom out if it's a competition show that you're trying to judge objectively, right? And I was definitely a prisoner of the moment, like immediately after the show, but then I gave it a couple days and I watched the stages separately and I'm just like, yeah, no, that wasn't the number one performance. It was definitely Luna, and then a close second for me. And I think this is where I differ from a lot of people. I'm going to throw it to you guys. What do you guys think? I had VVZ as number 2 with a natural. I can understand like the things that weren't perfect with that performance, but I think the fact that it's 3 of them and that they utilized the stage to give you the 3 members' characters well enough, or it's like, yeah, no, if you're talking about like Hyoden being number 1, then I don't see why VVZ can't be 2 or 3, like in the upper tier if this impact is the same, right? It's because like you have Hyoden as the solo performer, so she gets all the stage time focus. So VVZ, similarly, it's like, yeah, I think they pulled that off pretty well. But yeah, I think it's been a really compelling show. Sad for Brave Girls. I hope something happens where they don't get eliminated because they are working real hard. Their stages are quite good. It's just people aren't voting for them. So I don't know, man. Zondy, how do you feel about Brave Girls?
Yeah, I think it's really sad. It's just, I mean, it's in large part just because they don't seem to have the dedicated fandom, or I think they're also not being given the best material a lot of the time. At least, like, I thought the mask performance was really good, but I mean, yeah, it's almost entirely not their fault.
Right?
It just completely sucks for them.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but
yeah,
I kind of I had that thought too, that like from the voting, when you're there, you vote, you get 2 votes, you vote for your bias group, you vote for another one, and the bottom 2 ranking ones as well, they did Pool Party and Mask, which are probably songs that most people in the audience didn't know. Like the other songs, they hear Shake It, they're like, oh yeah, I know Shake It. Or you hear like Unnatural, you're like, oh yeah, I know this song. But then Mask and Pool Party, the average, if you're not a Kepler fan, not a Brave Girls fan, you might not have heard those songs before, which also could have worked against them, I think, for votes.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Because I think that pairing was just really difficult for both. One, Brave Girls songs just not historically well known, and Kepler, they have 3 songs. So good luck. Find one.
Don't perform You Plus Me Equals Love.
Please, God. But no, we're not getting any. That's the best Kepler song. Let's be real.
Yeah. I don't know. It may be my bias. I thought Mask was a top 3 performance. Cosmic Girls was a letdown for me. I didn't love that performance. I think it was mostly the remix of Nevalera. Just didn't do it for me.
I think them reducing the tempo wasn't really good.
Yeah, it kind of lost the vibes. So they lost me a bit on that one.
I thought
yes.
Really
yeah, she did great.
Yeah.
So yeah, my top 3 were definitely Luna, Brave Girls, VVs, I would say. And I think Kepler did their best.
Yeah.
And I think Hyolyn performed well. But also, probably my least favorite Luna title track.
No, I like it over Paint the Town.
Why Not is definitely the top girl crush Luna title track.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Yeah.
But I won't get into it.
Anyway, tangent. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't connect with Hyolyn's performance, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I'm not the target audience for that. I think that thing also that whole performance was definitely built for the live audience.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like a whole thing where it's like, hey, look how I can fill up a stage, and she did a good job at that. But
yeah,
it's just not.
Yeah, she sang well, she danced well, but
yeah,
great execution, but not a song that I went back and listened to very often.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the remix wasn't that great. I don't think like the vocal embellishments were necessary. It just felt like
a little bit too much belting.
Yeah, it was
very Hyolyn. It's just like I'm gonna make
like
this
we
my
get
song.
We know you can sing, okay?
Yeah, she went pretty ham.
My top 3 is probably Luna, then BB's, and then Luna again.
First of all, yes, great list. Second of all, we're aligned with VVZ. VV's.
Yeah, no,
I'm surprised. Well. Yeah, no, I love that performance. I think Tearaway Clothes are the MVP of this show, to be honest.
Yeah.
And canes. I think we've established canes are very important to our lore.
Yeah, regular canes. Yeah.
We love a costume change.
Right?
A quick change. Yeah. Just canes, just regular canes.
Regular raising canes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then mirrors. This mirror does not have cocaine on it, so it's very clean. Very cool effect. That's a reference to the main show, by the way. Heads up. I do not do cocaine, guys. Promise.
The mirror thing, I was like, what? I was like, whoa, this is really cool. And then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, imagine being in that audience and just looking down.
Yeah, that one wasn't for the live audience.
Yeah, I hope they projected that somewhere on a screen. At least give the effect. But it was great for us. But,
I'm looking forward to the mix stages, the dance and the vocal. I'm looking forward to especially Hikaru and Daeon from Kepler being able to show off. They're good dance, good kids. I don't know, like Hyolyn and Minyoung.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a lot of
high notes.
A lot. Yeah. We'll see.
Big belts. Yeah.
But I'm anticipating. I'm tentatively anticipating. Yeah.
How about you, Zondy?
I mentioned it in the pre-show, like before, when we were talking before the show, but we talked about our favorite moments, and by far my least favorite moment was when Luna and Kepler started singing Downpour by IOI, and I started bawling on the spot.
That was just mean.
But I'm so glad they didn't do it. Like, I think it would have been a fine performance. I think.
Do you guys know who wrote Downpour? I can't remember.
It was Woozy by 17.
Oh, yes. Wow. Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
Do you know him? I feel like you know him, right?
I don't know. I can't really remember. I might. Yeah.
I also just think it'll be super fucked up because Yeonjung isn't there.
Yes.
I just think it's poor girl.
That would be messed up.
Poor girl. Yeah.
I don't know how that moment came to be on the show, but good job, producers, for like twisting a knife into our backs and hearts.
It's a good song.
Yeah, which is
great song.
All of the elements in that song that came together. It's like, you're really going to practice Downpour right now for us. It's like, okay. It's like IOI.
Yeah, like, I mean, just the fact that there is a video of Kim Lip and Jinsol singing IOI Downpour has destroyed my entire life.
The song that they're going to actually, did they reveal? And I haven't watched the episode, but did they? Yeah. So they're doing "Don't Go" by EXO, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's okay. First of all, masterpiece. Early EXO. Well, EXO's discography in general, they've got some
super
great
solid
B-sides, but it's also very funny because in this stage in Queendom, for some reason, one of the dance teams chose to do "Wolf" by EXO.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I can't. I
yeah.
mean, I didn't watch Kingdom, but I love that so much.
It's. I mean,
I
we're
actually
talking about.
unironically think Wolf is a pretty fun choreographer.
We're talking about how sometimes you need a little cringe in K-pop. But I love the appreciation for the old EXO discography. They're so right for that. Yeah, EXO had some great B-sides.
I like how B-sides are getting some attention.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, right? The other song from Hyorin and help me, I can't know.
Minyoung?
Yes. Wow, I was about to say a different person, but I knew
Listen.
that was not correct. Is Bobagun 4, Bull 4.
To My Youth. Yeah, great song.
Yes. Great song.
Which is their most popular song, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It was like their first song.
Yeah. But it's cool that they're going all the way back into like Bobagun 4, right? And it was just a very interesting selection. I was like, oh, you're doing that. All right. Also because like they just sound very different from what I know of Hyorin.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know how that's gonna go. The two of them are both belters and Bull 4 not belting.
I mean, they had a whole. It's not the spoiler, Nina, but they had a whole thing about how they need to sing more high notes in the show.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, they previewed the song a bit. It's very different from the original.
Oh dear!
If you like Anjian's airiness, you're not getting any of that.
I don't think Minyoung or Hyorin could pull that off.
Yeah,
for a full song.
Shout out to Soul, by the way. We didn't talk about that song, but I think it's a very pleasant song.
Yeah, always. I feel like everything they release is just a pleasant little song. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I say they. It's just Jiyoung now.
It's
one person.
It's one person. She is the bowl. She is bowl 1.
Yeah, she is. She's all 4 bowls.
Yeah, all 4 bowls.
All 4 of the bowl.
Perfect. All right. Okay. Well, that is it for Queendom 2 discussion. We'll probably do a complete show wrap up next month. I think is what that will probably work out to be. All right. Closing thoughts. We're gonna start with Zondy. It was your birthday recently. How was your birthday? What did you do? And did you just say no to responsibilities for an entire week?
To answer the last question, yes. I gave myself a week off of doing literally anything. And to answer your other question, it was really good. I didn't do much. I had to go into uni for stuff, but then after that, I just kind of called a couple of friends. All 3 of my housemates separately, like not separately, but in a coordinated effort to ruin my life, each got me boba. So I had 3 bobas that day.
Well, you can always say them, but I'm sure you just drank them all at the same time.
and then later on in the week, we went out for dinner as a house, and then we got a couple of friends together and we just hung out.
Nice.
So it was really nice in general. I'm gonna get myself a birthday present probably soon. At some point, I'll probably buy like a nice guitar or a nice monitor, one of the two or both.
You play guitar?
I play a lot of instruments, Chris.
We are gonna start that band.
True. What is happening? My brain is about to explode. Nina plays piano. John plays guitar. I just do nothing. Fine. I'll just be the friend that stands in the back. It's okay. I love you, both of you. No, that's an amazing birthday. It's very, very wholesome, very low key.
And I've also stopped work, so Easter break is over, so I'm no longer working. But my paycheck did come in, so I'm feeling very rich at the moment.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah. No. Amazing. I'm really happy. One day we'll all celebrate with you. I think that is the conclusion.
He is now the legal drinking age in America, which is
I'm 21, maybe
the dumbest legal drinking age I've ever heard in my entire life. But
I mean, they're all dumb. They're all made up.
And we're American, so we're all just dumb.
Just weird choices
made up. Nina, how was the second half of your month? And how was the start of work?
Yeah, COVID really knocked me out for a solid week. Even though I was triple boosted, it was still a really bad case. So, stay safe.
Triple boosted mean that you have 5 shots?
I triple vax. Sorry. I have my 2 shots and my booster. And I'm very thankful for that, because if I didn't, I imagine it would have been even worse. So
Like literally, that's not correct.
Listen, I just kind of go there whenever I feel like it and just get another shot. I've gotten like 20.
I just think this is so funny, the idea of Nina having like, I mean, like you're the Thanos of.
I like scam them. I go down and tell them I haven't had it, and I just get another one.
Mm-hmm.
Addicted to COVID vaccines. And luckily I got better. Actually, my very first day of work, I had to work from home because I was still barely testing positive. But then I've been able to go in the office every day since then, and it's been awesome. I'm really enjoying my new job. I really like everyone I work with, and I love getting paid to write, which is crazy. And I'm walking to work every day, and the sun is out, and goodbye seasonal depression. Let's go spring.
Crispy,
Yes.
hold on.
Yes, sir.
So I was having a conversation with Nina at some point, and she doesn't seem to believe that she has good writer vibes, which I think are very real. Would you or would you not agree with me that she has good writer vibes?
Yeah, she has incredible, amazing, glowing writer vibes. I feel that 100%.
You can't ask Crispy, because whatever you ask him, he's just gonna say
I'm sorry, Nina. All I'm hearing is agreement. So
yes, I am a content writer. That is and I'm also an SEO specialist, which is hilarious.
And then on the side, you write novels. Got it.
Yeah, under a secret pen name that I'll never tell you.
If you don't tell us, but hint at certain titles we should be looking out for.
Okay.
So I can buy multiple copies of the book and not ask you to autograph it. No autographs from the author. Wow, those two things came together in my brain. No, amazing that you found a job that you love and appreciate, and that you get to do something that you're good at. Writing. I want to read something that you write one day, and sunshine and walking to work. Gosh.
Yeah,
man, that's such a great setup.
It's pretty good.
For me, my month has been mostly about work. Just slowly getting back into the office. I've been into the office once a week so far. It's not required yet that we get back in. I don't have a desk technically, so I have to check in with a coworker who's on my team if I can use his desk and space every time I want to go in. He's not in either, so I think he just said that just use it whenever. It's like, okay, cool, because I need a monitor. I need to see things on a larger screen. Spreadsheets stuff. Adult stuff. Spreadsheets.
Yeah, that's actually what working is. Spreadsheets.
Adults is just
literally every single job I've had to make at least 5 spreadsheets.
Oh yeah, I've got a ton of spreadsheets already. Yeah, that's actually adulting.
Yeah, guys. This is where we're at. But I got a bike, so I can bike to the bus, and the bus ride is only about an hour away, which I'm okay with. But I don't know yet if I will exactly take that offer, because there's no traffic in the Bay Area right now. So it only takes me like 30 minutes of what usually can take over an hour of a commute. So it's like, I don't know, but also like it's nice and sunny, and that would be kind of nice to just ride a bike and go on a bus for an hour and like read something. Then that means I got to take the bus back home. I don't know, a lot of things to weigh, but I think you and I are very similar right now in that we are exploring the outside world to commute to work.
Yes. Going outside. Crazy.
Imagine. The work's been great for me too. Connecting with my coworkers. We're all fairly remote. But our team, my team, like onboarding process is to have one-on-ones with all the different members of the group, stakeholders, adult lingo. And I've slowly talked to everyone to this point. One person is a big K-pop fan. She gives off the energy, so she's kind of introverted, but she gives off the energy of like, don't talk to me unless it's about K-pop. Just like, whatever. So I am the person, I'm the obnoxious friend, if you don't already know, that will in group chats say, hey, did you listen to this song? And then she'll just be like, I don't know this person, I'm leaving. But then she'll be like, yes, I do know that song later on. we already have a great dynamic there. A lot of the sarcasm is just oozing between the two of us. So I think that has kept me very sane, very happy to go to work. But overall, my team is great. Everyone's very kind and empathetic and have been really supportive to help me learn the job. I think in any work situation, that's the hope, that's the dream, right? So very fortunate for that. I think that's it. Anything else? What are you guys looking forward to for spring and essentially summertime in like less than 2 months?
Well,
I have exams soon, so I have that to look forward to. But also, 2 of my IS1 girls are going to be debuting. So I'm also looking forward to that.
La Setafin.
Oh!
Right?
that is exciting. Yep.
That is very exciting. I hope it's good.
That will be in May because it's coming out in May, guys.
Yeah, I've heard that it's coming in May. Yes.
So we are covering that in the May show. Even though this will be coming out in May, we will be covering Chaewon and Sakura in May. Just want to repeat.
I've also heard a rumor that on May 27th, 17 might be releasing an album. So, yeah.
Yeah, the big 3, La Seraphim, 17, and Kendrick Lamar are all dropping this month.
Dang, that big 3 is going to be so good. We're going to have so much to talk about.
Yeah, looking forward to May.
Looking forward to putting Kendrick on my top 3.
Yeah,
please do.
Kendrick Oppa.
You joke. I hope you're not.
I've cheated on the past 2 now, so.
Yeah, you have.
What was the last one you cheated on?
I put
you put Unbi on his March list when it came out in April.
To be fair, we did record that at a time where there's a little bit of overlap. So I was like, I was okay with that. I think I cheated too.
Yeah, neither of you put it on your charts, and now you can't. So.
Well, I actually, before you showed up, when we were talking before the show, I did say I wanted to, but we already talked about it so much last month, so I decided not to. Yeah. But it is probably actually my number 2 of the month. Yeah.
That's a good song.
But we dedicated too much time to it last month, so.
We went hard on that song.
Yeah, we really did.
Good on you, Zondy. See, you help us explore different avenues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I think we're done for the month, right?
Yeah. I think we covered it all.
Yeah. I would like to officially, formally just, put a stamp on this, say I love and adore both of you, Zondy and Nina, for coming onto the show, doing this with me every month. Honestly, it's the highlight of my month in a lot of ways. It reminds me that there are real people who enjoy this stuff in the same way that I do, and even in slightly different ways. Kendrick Lamar being K-pop now. So, I do thank and appreciate both of you for sticking by me. It means a lot.
Thanks for always having us.
Yeah. All right. Signing out. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the SojuTalk Nation podcast, episode 46. Subscribe on YouTube, follow on Spotify or your preferred podcast platform, and continue the conversation on the SojuTalk Kpop Podcast Discord. This has been the SojuTalk Nation for the very intelligent and hardworking Zondy and the very attractive Nina. This is Crispy. Bye.
Bye.